Hi, this is Jason Furman again. And in this portion of the video series, we're going to be talking about making your first initial strokes after learning to properly hold the sticks. In this one, we're going to be looking at playing strokes in traditional grip. Now, traditional grip exists because it evolved from military sling drum playing. One rope, one large drum, and the angle which they had to march at required people to have this overhanded type of grip to be able to play on the head. So many people still use this grip today. Some people think of it as a jazz grip, but I know plenty of people who are fusion or rock players use this grip quite effectively. I used this grip for a very long time, playing a variety of styles of music. I had switched to match grip just because personally I felt that it worked a little bit better for my approach on the drums. So I don't think one is better than the other. You just have to decide for yourself what works best for you. Now, when you're setting up your snare drum, when you see when we do the match grip portion, the drum will be flat because it's even. But as we can see, this grip doesn't work even. So I have the snare drum set up to complement as best as possible the angle of both hands. Again, this is a give and take type of grip, meaning this angle this way isn't ideal for this hand, but it's not so far one way that I have to play in this manner. And again, this angle that I have it down for the left hand isn't the ideal level of steep angle for this to work most effectively, but it's enough for it to function evenly. Now, when we get to this section of the playing, we're going to look at the center of your head. And with this angle we just talked about, make sure you experiment and find out what's best for you, considering how you play, the type of sticks you use, the type of drum you use, and the type of music you'll be playing may dictate the type of angle or position you put your drum in. But for now, find something that seems to work well enough. But as always, keep experimenting and find something that makes you to be able to stay as comfortable as possible. So we've got our angles here, at that 90 degree, and we're in the center of the drum. I suggest taking a quarter or a half dollar if you're on a practice pad or a head that you don't mind writing on, and making a circle in the middle of the head with maybe a little dot, sort of like a target. And that you can use when you're reading through exercises, and I suggest in the beginning something like George Lawrence Stone's stick control book, to just start learning to make strokes. And while you're reading, to have something to bring your peripheral attention and make sure we're maintaining a consistent beating spot. And maintaining a consistent beating spot will help us maintain a consistent sound, no matter where we are on the drum. And those types of movements around the drum we'll talk about in later video series. But making that consistency will allow us greater control. So here we are, middle of the drum. From here, with this 90-degree angle, you want to pull the arms straight up, wrists only, full strokes. Where we go from here, this is where we end here with each stroke. And you want to drop each one. There's plenty of weight in your hand and in your stick. Don't try to force a loud volume or to control a loud volume to be softer. We'll talk later in other video series about selection of sticks, mallets, brushes, basically the right tool for the right job. If you want a louder sound, you pick a heavier stick. A lighter sound, you pick a smaller stick. You want to have a variety of control in each, but the idea is if your overall sound is going to be one way or another, you pick the right tool for the right job. Here we're using a medium weight classical snare drum stick, and there's plenty of weight in this stick. So when I pull up, I don't force the stick down or pop it down. Just let the weight of the stick and my hand fall down and come back. The other thing with making these strokes, as long as you find yourself being relaxed, feeling the energy of the rebound, and just following it back into position. That's what I call accepting how the drumstick works with the head. Accepting the rebound. There's plenty of energy here available for you to play smooth, even, and relaxed. You just want to try to learn to not fight it. When you're doing this, also stay out of the habit of which I see lots of students do, doing what I call preparatory strokes. And a preparatory stroke would be, I'm ready to make the stroke, I'm in a relaxed position, but I still do this. We want to try to avoid that at this point. We'll be talking about another series of other arm movements in things like Muller technique and how your arm and body movement helps you maintain good time. But at this point, we want to stay relaxed, just making full strokes. So try to just keep here, keep everything relaxed, but the only thing that should be really moving is your wrist. And when we do this, and as you get your speed slightly faster, and take your time as always, make sure you don't start turning into this. That gets us in the habit of looking like one of those little wind-up toys. We want everything to be smooth and rebound. And for now, have everything be at the 90-degree angle, full stroke range. We'll talk about later about the different levels of angle and stick height equaling volume, as well as stick weight. So hopefully that's helped you get started on making your strokes. Be patient, make sure you breathe and relax. Anytime you feel tension, put your stick down, arms at your side, breathe, and make sure you feel everything natural and relaxed. We're working on muscle memory here in these very early stages, and you want to make sure that we don't have anything that's out of line with relaxation. Okay, so good luck, and for those of you who play match grip, I'll see you in the other video portion of this series for match grip initial strokes.